My beloved child, the moment those words left your mouth, the entire energy around you shifted, quietly, silently, but powerfully, and the person standing in front of you felt something they were absolutely not prepared for. They expected you to stay small, they expected you to stay silent, they expected you to swallow the truth again like you always do, but this time, something inside you rose, something inside you refused to bow down, and the way you spoke, calm, steady, fearless, hit them harder than any shout ever could. They were stunned, frozen, unable to blink for a second, because the version of you they knew simply disappeared in that moment, and a new one appeared, strong, sharp, awakened. And the reason you're hearing this right now is because something huge is waiting for you, something that your words have unknowingly activated. The universe has been watching that shifting energy, and the person who heard you speak is still replaying your sentence in their mind like an echo that refuses to die. They never thought you had that clarity. They never imagined you saw through everything. They didn't know that you had read their intentions so deeply that your one line exposed their whole game without you even trying. And now they're scared, not of you, but of what your truth can do. They have started realizing that they underestimated the wrong soul. Amen. Blessing 111. Little did they know, your sentence was not just a sentence, it was a revelation, a mirror placed in front of them that showed exactly what they were trying to hide. And when you spoke, their heart skipped a beat, their breath trembled, because your words were not ordinary words, they carried the weight of everything you've been holding inside for months, maybe years. They felt it. They felt the honesty. They felt the purity. They felt the strength. They felt the unshakable truth you've been suppressing. And what shocked them even more is that you didn't even raise your voice, you simply spoke in a tone that showed you were done being treated like an option, done being misunderstood, done being underestimated. And that single moment has changed the entire dynamic. They are now thinking about you more than you think about them. They are replaying everything. They are asking themselves, how did they know? How did they see through me? How did they speak like that? Because your words exposed their intentions, their jealousy, their insecurity, their silent competition, their plans, their manipulation, and the image they tried to hold up. And now, there's a ripple effect. Your courage has activated something big, something divine, something unstoppable. Amen. Blessing 222. But what you don't know, my child, is that the shock you gave them did not stop there. After you left, they stood still, staring into nothing, trying to understand how your spirit suddenly expanded like that. They felt intimidated, guilty, impressed, confused, all at the same time. They realized they can't play with you anymore. They realized you're not who you used to be. They realized you don't fear losing people. They realized you carry a truth inside you that pierces straight through anyone pretending around you. But the biggest twist is this: someone else who wasn't even present is about to hear what you said from this person's mouth, and that person is going to step toward you with admiration, curiosity, and a sudden sense of respect. Your words are traveling. They're circulating. They're reaching ears that need to hear your truth. And very soon, because of what you said, a blessing, a shift, an opportunity, or a person is coming toward you, someone who sees your worth clearly. Your one sentence has set destiny in motion. Your one moment of clarity has started a chain reaction. And your one truth is becoming the reason something massive enters your life. Amen. Blessing 333. My beloved child, the shockwaves of your words didn't just end in that moment, they began unfolding like a silent storm no one could control. The person who heard you is still sitting with that disbelief, replaying your voice inside their mind over and over again, trying to understand how you suddenly stepped into a version of yourself they never expected. And what they didn't realize is that your words were not spoken from anger, they were spoken from awakening. You didn't speak to hurt anyone. You spoke because you finally understood your own value. You finally recognized the weight of your own truth. And that purity is exactly why it hit them so deeply. They felt exposed. They felt seen. They felt caught. And now, they're afraid of the consequences your clarity might bring, because they know you are no longer blind to the things they tried to keep hidden. But more than fear, they feel something else. Something even stronger. Respect. Suddenly they've realized that your silence was never weakness, it was control. Your patience wasn't lack of awareness, it was wisdom. And now they're understanding that your one sentence was enough to shake everything they thought they had power over. Amen. Blessing 444. Meanwhile, the universe is aligning something unexpected in your favor. Your words acted like a key, unlocking doors that were previously closed, shaking loose energies that were stuck, and catching the attention of forces you didn't even know were watching you. Someone heard about the way you spoke. Someone who wasn't in the room, someone whose opinion matters more than you think. This person is quietly observing you from a distance now, deeply impressed by the courage you showed. They're seeing you differently. They're seeing you as someone with a voice that commands attention without ever raising volume. They're seeing you as someone who carries a rare combination of calmness and intensity. And this person is about to play a major role in your destiny. Because the way you spoke revealed your strength, your emotional intelligence, your wisdom, and it caught the attention of someone who has the power to bring opportunities your way, protect you from hidden negativity, and shift your path forward. Something huge is waiting for you, something connected directly to the sentence you spoke. This is not a coincidence, this is alignment. Amen. Blessing 555. But here's the twist, my child. The person who was stunned by your words is not the only one affected. There is someone close to them, someone who heard your exact sentence from their mouth. And when they repeated what you said, the second person was even more shocked than the first. Because the second person already knew you had strength, but they didn't know you were ready to show it. They're now analyzing every interaction they ever had with you. They're questioning why they misjudged you. They're confused about how they missed your intelligence. And they're starting to realize, you're not the person they assumed you were. This second person is now watching you silently, observing how you move, how you speak, how you decide, how you respond. And here's the crazy part. They are impressed. They are curious. They are drawn toward you. And they are about to make a move, maybe a call, maybe a message, maybe an opportunity, maybe an unexpected conversation. Your words have reached them like a vibration that refuses to fade, and now you've shifted the balance in ways no one can reverse. Amen. Blessing 666. Lastly, before you step into the next chapter, let me tell you, your voice has just activated a transformation in your life. Someone who wanted to underestimate you is now afraid of losing access to you. Someone who thought they had control over you has realized they don't. Someone who tried to twist things is realizing that you see more than they think. And someone who never valued you is about to regret it. Big time. Because your truth was not loud, but it was powerful. And powerful truth always returns as powerful blessings. Something huge is waiting for you. The universe is preparing to deliver it. Amen. Blessing 777. My beloved child, what you don't know is that after that moment, the moment your words fell into the air with the weight of truth, something inside that person completely collapsed. Their confidence shook. Their assumptions broke. Their ego cracked like thin glass. They kept trying to play the scene in their head, imagining different reactions they should have given, different responses they could have said, but nothing works, because your truth was too sharp, too precise, too fearless. Your single sentence was like a spotlight shining directly on their hidden intentions, and they had no shield strong enough to block it. Even hours later, they are pacing, restless, unable to swallow the feeling that they just got caught by someone they believed they could easily fool. Their heart is still racing, because your voice wasn't just a voice, it was a revelation, a wake-up call, a reminder that you are not someone to be played with. And now they're whispering to others, I didn't expect them to speak like that. I didn't think they knew. I didn't know they were watching this closely. They're shaken because your sentence exposed the truth they were desperately trying to hide. And now the shock is evolving into fear, fear that you might reveal more, fear that your silence may break again, fear that your voice might become the reason their entire mask falls off. But alongside that fear, there is guilt. A heavy, suffocating guilt. Because deep down they know you didn't deserve what they did, what they said, what they planned behind your back. And your one sentence was enough to make them confront their own intentions. Amen. Blessing 888. But something far more interesting has begun, something they didn't predict. The universe is moving people, conversations, and energies toward you in ways that feel almost unreal. Someone who overheard about what you said, someone who wasn't even connected to the situation originally, has now become intensely curious about you. They're asking, who speaks like that? Who has that much clarity? Who can say one line that shuts down an entire situation? This person is not against you, in fact, they're becoming your silent supporter, your hidden admirer, your unexpected ally. They saw strength in your words, depth in your tone, and intention in your silence. And this person is influential enough to shift events in your favor without you even realizing it. Your sentence created ripples, and those ripples are now touching the doors of people who can help you, lift you, protect you, or open pathways you never imagined. You think you only spoke one line, but the universe heard something much bigger. A declaration of your worth. A declaration of your strength. A declaration of your awakening. And because of that, someone is preparing to reach out. A conversation, an offer, an apology, an opportunity, or a moment that will change the dynamic of your entire path. They feel an urgency to come closer to you before someone else does. They feel a pull toward your energy that they cannot explain. And the truth is, they're already watching you quietly, admiring the way you handled yourself, the way you stood firm, the way you spoke with both grace and power. Amen. Blessing 999. But the biggest revelation is this, my child. The person who was stunned by your words had a moment of realization that they never wanted to face. They finally saw that you never needed them, they needed you. They realized that their value in your life was never bigger than your strength. They realized that if you chose silence, it was out of kindness, not weakness. And when you finally spoke, you spoke in a way that showed them exactly what they risk losing. Now they're scared of your distance. They're scared of your silence. They're scared of your improvement. They're scared of your growth. They're scared of your confidence. They're scared that someone else will step into your life and recognize what they ignored. And the irony is, someone is coming. Someone who is already thinking about you intensely. Someone who is about to appear in your story because your voice opened a new timeline, a higher vibration, a new destiny. Your words were the key that unlocked a door you didn't know was stuck. And now blessings are entering. New people are entering. New opportunities are entering. New energies are entering. The person who was stunned is now dealing with panic, but the universe is preparing you for something monumental. Something huge is waiting for you. Something that was meant for you long before this moment. And nothing, not even their shock or fear, can stop what's already on its way. Amen. Blessing 1010. My beloved child, the moment that sentence escaped your lips, something inside the person who heard it didn't just shatter, it collapsed completely, like a truth bomb detonated straight into their chest. They expected your silence, not your strength. They expected hesitation, not clarity. They expected confusion, not confidence. But your words came out with a calm that cut deeper than anger ever could. And now, that person is terrified of the reality you indirectly revealed. They thought they had time. They thought you were predictable. They thought you were still the version of yourself who didn't speak up. But when you finally said what you said, it was like you opened a door in their mind they had been trying to keep locked for months. They've been sitting alone, holding their head, breathing unevenly, trying to figure out how your one sentence managed to expose everything they were trying so hard to hide. They didn't just hear your words. They felt them like lightning cracking across their skin. And now, they're realizing the truth they were running from. You see more than you speak. You understand more than you show. And your silence was never ignorance, your silence was observation. This realization is hitting them harder than you can imagine. Amen. Blessing 1111. But here's where the story flips, because the universe is already moving the situation in a direction they cannot control. While they're stuck replaying your sentence, someone else, someone you least expected, is quietly celebrating you. They're impressed. They're inspired. They're proud of the way you handled yourself without losing grace. This person saw or heard about what happened through a sudden conversation, a random mention, or a whispered rumor, and now their interest in you has intensified. They're drawn to your energy, your courage, your honesty. They're seeing you in a completely new light. A light that shines stronger than before. And this person is not ordinary. They carry influence, intuition, vision. They're the type of individual who can shift your life path with one decision, one opportunity, one gesture. They're already thinking, if they can speak like that, imagine what they can do. Your words activated admiration in someone who has the power to align you with something greater. They're watching you silently, thinking about approaching you, thinking about offering something, thinking about stepping into your life. And this person's entry will change the dynamic entirely, because they see your worth clearly, while the one who was stunned only saw it when they almost lost it. Amen. Blessing 12:12. But the universe didn't stop there, my beloved child. A third person, someone connected to the one who was stunned, is now suspicious. They are asking questions, observing behaviors, watching reactions, noticing sudden fear in the person who heard your words. They're picking up on small details, strange shifts, panicked expressions. And now they want to know exactly what you said that caused such a disturbance. When they finally heard the sentence you spoke, something in them froze. Because they realized instantly that your words didn't just come from emotion, they came from truth. They came from knowledge. They came from instinct. This third person is now afraid too, not of you, but of what your awakening could expose. They know that if you spoke that one sentence with confidence, you might speak more. You might reveal more. You might uncover things they never wanted you to see. Now there's tension in their circle. Whispering. Nervousness. Restlessness. Because your words have turned into a silent storm that is spreading through all the people connected to the situation. And while they're drowning in anxiety, your energy is rising. Your blessings are rising. Your destiny is rising. Your words didn't just shock someone, they activated a timeline that leads straight to a breakthrough you have been waiting for. Something huge is waiting for you, and the universe is bringing it faster than they can handle. Amen. Blessing 13:13. My beloved child, the ripple effect of your words has now grown into something far larger than anyone expected. The person who first heard you is no longer just shocked, they are haunted by your sentence. Every time they close their eyes, they hear your voice again, calm but cutting, soft but mighty, gentle but unstoppable. They can't understand how one line exposed everything they tried to hide behind their smiles, their excuses, their manipulations, their fake strength. They are shaken because they now see what they refused to accept for so long. You were never naive. You were never blind. You were never weak. You were simply quiet, until the right moment. And now, they're terrified of what else you might know, what else you noticed, what else you have kept inside. Your words have become like a mirror, forcing them to face their own actions for the first time. And that mirror is making them uncomfortable, because it's showing them exactly who they've been. Guilt is burning through their chest. Fear is tightening their throat. Regret is settling in their bones. They can't run from what you revealed, and now they're wondering if they've pushed you too far this time. Amen. Blessing 14:14. But the universe is already preparing the next chapter, because someone else, someone who wasn't even connected to the situation originally, has now become deeply curious about you. They heard your sentence through an unexpected source, a friend of a friend, a message someone forwarded, a conversation they accidentally overheard. But when they heard it, something inside them lit up. They felt respect for you without even meeting you. They felt drawn to your energy. They felt a pull they cannot explain. This person sees your strength not as threat, but as brilliance. They see your courage not as confrontation, but as wisdom. They see your voice not as rebellion, but as truth. And this person is about to step into your life in a way that will feel almost destined. Because they carry something you need. Clarity, connection, support, opportunity, or even a form of love you didn't expect. They're thinking about you more than they want to admit. They're planning how to approach you without appearing too sudden. They're imagining the moment they finally speak with you. And deep down, they feel that you deserve better than the people who underestimate you. They want to be part of the circle that appreciates you, not the one that fears your truth. Amen. Blessing 15:15. But here's where the universe becomes poetic, my beloved child. Someone close to the person who was stunned is now experiencing a strange shift. They're starting to admire you secretly. They heard what you said, and instead of being shocked in a negative way, they were shocked in a powerful way. They thought, how did they speak like that? Where did that confidence come from? How are they this strong and still so composed? And now, this person is silently defending you in conversations. They're correcting misunderstandings about you. They're noticing things they previously ignored. They're analyzing the behavior of the one who hurt you. And what's even more shocking? This person now sees the truth clearly. You were right. You spoke the truth. You didn't exaggerate. You didn't misread anything. Your intuition was correct from the beginning. Your words opened their eyes, and suddenly, the entire situation looks different to them. They're seeing not just the surface, they're seeing intentions, jealousy, insecurity, lies, and manipulations that were hidden in plain sight. And because of your words, they're slowly distancing themselves from the person who tried to silence you. They're beginning to step to your side, even if quietly for now. This silent supporter is going to play an important role soon. They might expose something. They might warn you about something. They might bring information you were unaware of. Your one sentence has rearranged loyalties. It has shifted energies. It has revealed real faces. And all of this is pushing you towards something massive, something destined, something life-changing. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 16:16. My beloved child, the storm inside that person hasn't settled, not even for a moment. Ever since those words slipped from your lips, they've been spiraling in a place they never imagined they'd fall into. Your voice keeps echoing in their mind with a power they cannot escape. They're shocked not just because of what you said, but because of how you said it. Calm, steady, fearless, unshakable. They never expected you to hold that kind of strength inside you. They never imagined you could see through their intentions with such clarity. And now, they're struggling to breathe under the weight of the truth you indirectly revealed. They don't know whether to be afraid of your intuition or ashamed of their behavior. They don't know whether to come closer or run farther. They don't know whether to apologize or hide. All they know is this. Your words expose them without a single accusation. Your sentence was a truth so sharp that even their ego had no defense. Now they're replaying every decision they made, every lie they said, every move they played, wondering how much you truly know. They're terrified of the possibility that your silence has been watching them longer than they realized. Amen. Blessing 17:17. But the universe is not done surprising them, because someone unexpected has now stepped into the energetic field of this situation. Someone who wasn't supposed to be involved, but destiny pulled them in anyway. This person heard the story of what you said from a completely different source. And the moment they heard your words, they froze. Not out of fear, but out of awe. They felt something powerful rise in their chest, a mixture of admiration, curiosity, and a strange sense of recognition. They felt like your voice carried a depth that's rare to find. Your honesty sounded refreshing. Your clarity sounded divine. Your courage sounded natural. And now, this person is quietly watching you from a distance, trying to understand who you are behind that one powerful sentence. They feel an urge to come closer. They feel an instinct to protect you. They feel a pull that's getting stronger every single day. And what's even more surprising is that this person has the capability to shift your reality, socially, emotionally, or even spiritually. They might enter your life as an opportunity, a supporter, a guide, a connection, or a blessing wrapped in human form. They see something in you the original person couldn't see until they were shaken by your truth. Amen. Blessing 18:18. But here's where the universe becomes beautifully ruthless, my beloved child. The circle around the person who was stunned is now cracking from the inside. Because when people are shaken by truth, they expose themselves unintentionally. Small behaviors are changing. Hidden insecurities are slipping out. They're acting weird, nervous, inconsistent, and others around them are beginning to notice. Someone close to them, someone who used to support them, has now begun to question their story. They're observing the fear in their eyes whenever your name comes up. They're noticing how defensive they get. They're noticing how restless they've become. And now this person is thinking, why are they reacting like this? What did this person say that scared them so much? What are they hiding? When they finally heard your actual sentence, they were stunned too, but not in fear, in realization. They understood the depth of your truth instantly. They saw exactly why your words shook the person so hard. And for the first time, they're seeing the entire situation clearly. You were the honest one. You were the wise one. You were the intuitive one. You were the truth in the room. This third person, who once believed the lies, is now switching sides silently. They no longer trust the person who was stunned, they trust you. And very soon, they're going to play a major role in exposing something, revealing something, or bringing you a piece of information that will validate everything you always felt. Your one sentence didn't just shock someone, it reset the entire alignment of people around you. Something huge is waiting for you, and all of this chaos is simply the universe clearing the path. Amen. Blessing 1919.